And so for your third one, that was an amazing journey. I loved it.
Yeah, the third one is only 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Not even. And this time I felt it was not my grandmother, but it was my mother connecting. And she and I had the feeling that I have to do another session with you, and this time connecting to my mother. And my mother passed away also 1.5 years ago, and she never did any physical abuse to me. So I was not hit or anything like that by her. But she was a person who couldn't give physical contact. By now I know that she also was traumatized and has dissociated from her body in early childhood. So it was not possible for her to be this loving and kind mother who is touching and petting and having the baby very close. And I had it felt that she wanted contact with me, and so we went into the third session, and this time it went really fast. So I lay down and my body knew this will happen, and boom, there we go. And and suddenly from the first beginning I was down in hypnosis. I got a picture of my mother, and she was there was deep blue around her, and there were stars, and I was wondering where she is or what it is, and she instantly spoke, and she said, well, that's a place I have chosen for myself, and it's I feel comfortable here, and I'm on my own, and I watch everything I can. I watch over you and your family, and it came out that she was circling in the orbit around the Earth, and she was enjoying this place she has chosen for herself, and she felt free, completely free.
So she said that she could go elsewhere, but she wanted to stay there.
Yes.
Because she wanted that freedom of being in this space, and when she's ready, she will move on to other places.
Yeah, because this freedom was something she was longing for all her life. She was born Second World War. She was born in 1931, and she was also her mother was Czech and her father was German. So this was another difficulty in these times, because they were living in Czech Republic, and so because of the turmoils of the war, she had to change. First, she had to change school, because she was bilingual, but it was not allowed to speak Czech in one school or German in the other, and so there was a lot of outside stuff that had big influence on her life, not nice stuff. And I also asked for pictures, or I don't know if I asked, but she showed me pictures of her childhood, where she was in darkness, and it was cold, and she was lonesome, and she was beaten up by her mother.
I actually remember this part. I remember that you actually conjoined and you touched foreheads, and it was like you had a download of her memories and her feelings. I think that was the way you described it.
And she showed me that she was raped by her father, and she showed me that she found her mother tried to commit suicide, and she found her when she got home from school. She was only 9 years old, and this all brought her to a state of dissociation, and that explained why she couldn't treat me differently as she had done when I was little. She never experienced this kind touch from a mother. What else happened in her childhood was that her father left the family, and she had.
So she'd never experienced this kind of kindness from her mother.
Yeah, and her father was abusive, and then the father left the family, so there was only she and her mother. And because of the turmoils in the war, she was supposed to leave the Czech Republic and had to go to a camp. And from this camp, she was sent to Germany. And her mother went with her. So she was always together with her mother, and what she was longing for her whole life was freedom, and having her own money and being able to organize everything on her own and to be independent. And she wanted to travel, being stuck always in the same place and not be able to move. She wanted to see the world. And so when I was born, this was not actually planned. It was more like a coincidence. And when I was already very little, my mother was always working. She was working for money was very important for her. So she didn't want to lose too much time, and went to work again when I was only 5 or 6 months old, and she left me with her mother. So I was taken care of by my grandmother, and that was something I always I was angry about, that she did so.
Because you were sure that she knew what was happening with your grandmother, and you
yes,
felt sure that, because I remember this from early on, that you felt sure that she must have known. She can't have not known what was happening to you.
But by now I know that it wasn't possible for her to act differently. It just had to be like this. And for a long time in my life, I didn't know why I was always, there was an underlying anger towards my mother, and I never knew where it came from. And because my mother supported me with everything I need. There was always enough money. We did a lot of traveling in faraway countries. I never had to suffer from anything. So when I had a desire, I wanted something as a child, I got it. But still, there was always this feeling, why am I angry at her? I don't know. And now I have the explanation where this came from. It was this anger that she left me with her mother, and I always thought that she knew what will happen, but now I know she couldn't act differently, and so I really have forgiven her this, as it was not. Beautiful. She did her best.
And I remember with each of these, we were able to work with healing the child in you. So I remember you sitting on your mum's knee.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I said, hop up on your mum's knee, and you had a hug, and you cried and you cried and you cried, and it was really beautiful and healing.
Yeah.
It's so important to heal the child, isn't it? It's so important to go back and actually, you know, change. You know, you can literally change your internal story.
Yeah. 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 Yes. This was very, very healing, and there was always also a jealousy towards my own children, because my own children were treated by my mother so differently than I was. She loved her grandchildren. So I have 3 children, and they all adored their grandmother, and she was with them very often, and they visited her, and she gave all the love she couldn't give to me. Now she spread it amongst my children. And now I also understand this in a different way.
Yes,
So
because what did she say to you in that hypnosis about that? She actually had a conversation with you about that. When you said, why couldn't you talk to me about this? What did she say to you?
Well, that by then she was not in the state of mind. She was not in that state that she could give this to me. So it needed another 30 years that she was able to show her love.
To find herself, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was, and then there was this was really so amazing when I said that I forgive her and I love her and I feel her love. Then suddenly from this dark blue part where she was in, it was like the doors of a cathedral open, and there was this immense, huge, bright light coming towards me, and it was, oh, what the fuck is going on here? And it at first it hit me, it hit here, and then I suddenly opened my breast, and then this pure golden light went into my body, and it felt really as if every cell of my body was filled up with this light. And then suddenly I felt, okay, I'm full, it's full, and then all of a sudden it shut down, and it was gone again. So the light stopped, and I was completely filled up with this light, and this I don't know what it is. I say it was, yeah, just enormous love and healing energy, light, pure. Yeah, I have no words for it, but I have it in my body, and it feels so amazingly good and warm, and there was gratitude and love and connection, and yeah, really amazing. It was awesome.
Did you feel that light was from her or from beyond her, through her, and then to you?
Probably. I can't tell. It was really so as if she was the portal, a huge portal that opened, and it came from her, but probably it went through her.
Yes, like a conduit.
Yeah.
And probably healing her as well, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
You know, there's a sensation that she had chosen that space where she was, you know, out in the stratosphere, because she carried a lot of guilt and she carried a lot of harm, and she needed that stillness and that quiet to heal so much of herself. And you know, a great big thing is to forgive herself, right?
Yeah.
And you know, even as parents, we spend a lot of time having to forgive ourselves for things that our kids don't even, you know, they'll be like, what? but it's part of it. And do you think that this experience for her, do you think it helped her find that place where she was ready to continue on? Or
I'm sure it was healing for her.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Anjii is available for clinical hypnotherapy specializing in PTSD, trauma release, and active living and regression therapy via Zoom. To book or find out more about online workshops, you can contact her at anjieb@gmail.com or visit her Facebook page and YouTube channel